Hi guys, how are you all? Now the last topic was a big lengthy one, so it needs a quick summary. I think it would be better if we can quickly go through everything, so it would better and we would better understand where do we stand. First, very quickly, I'll take you through incorporated business. These are the features of an incorporated business. Number one, separate legal entity, which means they're separate from owners, which means they are separate from owners. They business have their own accounts separate from the owners. Businesses can get into contracts, can have their own contracts. It's just like living being. Businesses can take and give loan. So these are separate legal entities, and for an example we have been making. So these are the businesses. These are the businesses. So when you talk about incorporated business, there are two types of incorporated businesses and unincorporated businesses. One incorporated business, one of them is called private limited company, and the other one is called public limited company. Unincorporated, sole trader, partnership. So they don't have a separate legal entity. The business is the owner. Over here, business is separate from the owner. Like we always say, this is the business and we have separate owners. Alright, we understand all of this, right? So now let's talk about the shareholders. Who is a shareholder? Shareholder is also called owner. She buys shares in the company. She gets a return against their investment. That return on investment or profit is called dividends. Shareholders or the owners, they are owners, right? So shareholders have unlimited liability, which means if the business fails, shareholder will lose their investment. Shareholders will only lose their investment. Shareholders will only get their dividends, only receive a profit or a dividend if the company has made a profit. So if it has not made a profit, they will not. No profit, no dividend. No profit, no dividend. But if loss, so they don't have to pay the loss. So this is what a shareholder is all about. Another thing I can add is that once a company makes profit, first it pays off all the costs like salaries and everything, and later if anything left, it gives dividend. Alright, now we have understood shareholders. Hopefully we have understood incorporated business. Let's just talk about private limited company. So what is a private limited company? Number one feature of a private limited company is it's an incorporated business. Correct? It has its separate legal entity. The shares are sold between friends and families, right? So the shares are not sold to everyone, so not everyone can get access to all the shares. So this brings me to the next point. Shares are not transferable, not transferred or sold further. The people who have started the company, the founders, still get to control the company. The founders might have maximum shares. Opening up the company requires legal documents. Setting up requires two types of legal documents: memorandum of association. So what is a memorandum of association? What is it? And there is another one. We'll first talk about the memorandum of association and then we'll see what's the other one. So memorandum of association will talk about the important information. Let me read it out. It contains very important information about the company and the directors, the official name and the address of the company. Directors name, directors address, company's name, company's address, branches of the company, and products of the company. Whereas the second document, which is called the Article of Association, deals with the duties of directors. Duties of directors, laws and regulations, rights of the shareholder. So shareholders have rights. Shareholders. So once we have all of this, we can now talk about another point, which I believe is, let me see, what's the next point? Yeah, here we go. So setting up is done. Now let's talk about sharing of information, the rights. Here we go. Company will have to share all the details, all the financial details with the following: shareholders, of course, because they're the owners, and government regulatory bodies. I think that's pretty much it about the private limited companies and the incorporated businesses. We have also discussed shareholders, we have discussed dividends. So this is a quick summary of everything we need to know about these three topics. So thank you very much. If you have any questions, please do let me know and I'll be happy to answer that.